ding. It dinged.
It dinged?
That means
Ding, fries are done.
We're doing a video.
Are we?
This time we're reviewing Wovenwar from Wovenwar.
Oh.
This band, if you don't know them, and if you've lived under a rock in the world of metal, is from the Ashes of As I Lay Dying. That should be a band name. From the Ashes of As I Lay Dying.
The Ashes.
Anyways, we reviewed this already, but only a few of you watched. It was a really bad review. Therefore, we're here to redo it because we're like, man, that was a shitty review. And so, we're admitting we were fucking wrong.
Yep.
Here we are.
We're idiots. We're fucking idiots.
We were fucking...
Damn right you are.
Dingus. But I told us so. Alright.
What told us?
If you haven't... Watch that fucking show, Sam.
What?
That show you showed us.
Trailer Park Boys.
Yeah.
Trailer Park Boys. You should watch that show.
Just watch it. Ricky
Yeah.
Izzers. I told you so.
Yeah. We're going to do this fucking review now. Okay.
Yeah, it's actually on top.
It's been a minute and 15 seconds.
We haven't talked about it once. Alright.
What do you think?
What I think? I like this album a lot. It could be very easy, I think, listening to this album to be, at times, to kind of sit there and think, that sounds a lot like, As I Lay Dying, which, no shit, I mean, it's basically almost
all the same members except Tim Lambesis.
So it's like, it's kind of hard to not sound like that. It's like, when you do something for... What, they've been doing that for over 10 years now. Once you're in a band for 10 years and you're writing one kind of music for that long, it's really hard to kind of mix it up a lot. But that's not to say that this album doesn't stray from where, from what As I Lay Dying was. For example, there's, yeah, it strays from the path, but what was it,
Did we review Stray from the Path?
What?
Did we review Stray from the Path?
No, I don't think so.
We should review Straight from the Path.
Okay.
Just kidding.
Like I said, I told you so.
Yeah.
But, yeah, one of the major differences you'll notice right now, right off the bat with this, is the lack... There's not really any scream vocals on this album. It's all clean.
Dude, fuck that.
It's not brutal.
It's most of the vocals on this album are done by
Shane Blay.
Shane Blay from, what was it,
Oh, Sleeper.
Oh, Sleeper, so...
Oh.
But, and then Josh does a couple vocals, mostly on the song Matter of Time, but like, that's one thing, As I Lay Dying was because Tim Lambesis was the lead singer, there's a lot of scream vocals, and also, I feel like...
screams, man.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. But, I think that having a new member of the band in Shane, and also a third guitarist, because he also plays rhythm guitar, so now they have 3 guitarists, is, I think it's a nice breath of fresh air. It's, new energy being reinvigorated in the band. I feel like we've been saying that a lot with reviews, because a lot of bands are getting new members, that they're being rejuvenated with a new kind of energy, and that's what this is. This is familiar yet fresh at the same time. The guitar work on this album is some of the best, I feel, that I've heard from these guys. Like I said, they stick to what they're good at with what they did with As I Lay Dying, but they flourish it.
Hardcore.
Fuck. But they flourish it with so much more, expanding on it. We were saying a lot of songs in this album I could hear being played on the radio, which isn't a bad thing. It makes these guys, this makes this band very accessible. I could see, like I said, a lot of these songs ending up on the radio, and then that would attract a wider audience and whatnot. And that's, like I said, that could be pretty cool. Musically, this is a very, very solid album. Vocally, Shane does a really good job. I'll admit, and Tyler will probably say the same thing, when we first listened to this album, I thought it was all Josh, because they sound basically the same. If you didn't tell me that it wasn't Josh, I would have just assumed it was him, and that was kind of what ended up happening. But it's actually mostly just Shane. He does a good job singing. It's it fits the music, the kind of almost metalcore singing. It fits, and so everything just comes together really well. Let's see, really good songs. All Rise is a good song. I remember off the top of my head. Matter of Time, like I said, is very catchy. A little more towards the radio-ish commercial side. I'm trying to remember, what was the other song that we just listened to? One of the other songs we just listened to.
Profane.
Yeah, Profane is a good song, and yeah, it's just like a lot of these songs are really good. I'm just, I just having trouble remembering some of them right now. But yeah, this is just a solid album.
Yeah. This album's not brutal, and it's fucking stupid. No, I'm kidding. This is a solid release. This is one that I think I don't even know how many times I listened to this album now, and I can still barely tell the difference between Josh Gilbert and Shane Blay, and I mean that not that they're bad singers at all; they're great vocalists, but they sound very, very similar to me, at least. And so yeah, that's where we got that from, and yeah, so balls. Anyways. As I Lay Dying tried to fit and be one sound every record. They tried to be heavy and fast and fucking brutal breakdowns and Tim the Pieces vocals, yeah.
But he's in prison, so they can't do that
screams! Yeah.
Yeah. So, now that that's gone, I feel that they've just kind of expanded their sound. Phil and Nick Hippa. They're fantastic vocalists, and I think that they were two of my favorite vocalists still, even in As I Lay Dying. I always thought they wrote some of the best riffs, just some of the best songs. Their soloing was fucking amazing. And it's great here. I mean, I feel that they kind of have expanded just songwriting and added more dynamics to their sound, and it's cool. The soloing is still top notch on here. I mean, Nick Hippa, man, that guy fucking shreds, and he writes so many good solos. I mean, the one in All Rise is just like, yes. And it just seems like the riffs are extremely catchy. The Mason has an extremely catchy guitar riff. And a lot of the leads are really, really catchy. I look at the one in Archers as probably being the most catchy. And there seems to be a really cool lead over top of every chorus. But that's the thing about this album, is that it's very... It appeals... It can easily appeal to a more mainstream, more radio-friendly audience. And usually when you say that about a metalcore band, people go like, ooh, no, ooh, that's not cool. Like All That Remains, or Bullet for My Valentine, or Trivium, and it just seems like every metalcore band, when they try to move in a different direction and become more appealing, they just suck balls. But Wovenwar, I feel they just put it together in a nice way. It's like, it's the type of kind of hard rock music that I enjoy the most, and that's why I listen to bands such as Chevelle or Alter Bridge or something, because there's riffs and then there's a good chorus. And while every song repeats in the same songwriting, the same patterns, guitar riff, verse, chorus, middle section, solo, I don't fucking know. But there's still riffs, and they're catchy, and they're cool, and that's what I like about this album. Is that the riffs are just very well done, and just the guitars in general are really well done. Jordan is a fantastic drummer, and it's cool to see him going from, fucking speed metal, fucking technical breakdowns and just heavy shit to a more laid back approach. I mean, it once again shows that these guys, they're more capable of writing whatever the fuck they want. It's almost as if they were being held back, and now the leash is just let go and cut, and they can do whatever they want, and it's awesome. A lot of the choruses on here are really, really catchy. Like, All Rise has been stuck in my head a lot this week. Same with Archers. A Matter of Time can easily get stuck in your head. And the vocals even do some new things that I really just think is a breath of fresh air, too. to I guess these guys sound, because in terms of a sound, it sounds like As I Lay Dying. The same guitar tone, the same everything. And it's really hard to not compare this band to As I Lay Dying, sorry, because it basically is. So at least in the sound department, it's pretty much the same. And so when it comes to the vocals, yeah, not being any screams is a huge plus, and I think it's pulled off well. Shane Blake, he's actually a really good vocalist. I mean, I might have said that he sounds so similar to Josh Gilbert, vice versa, but he's a great vocalist, I feel, and he really fits this band's style and just overall sound and songwriting and everything. And I love in like Dead to Rights or Father Son, just the more calm moments and stuff like that. I thought they just broke up the songs really well. And there's just a lot of... It just seems like Shane Blay sings the notes that, I would anticipate coming. It's not a... It's a very predictable vocals, I guess, because you're like, I know what pitch he's going to hit next. But it works so well, and I like that. Other than that, I mean, this isn't a bad album. A couple of the songs run together just a little bit, but this album definitely will grow on you the more that you listen to it. At first I was like, 15 songs, that's ridiculous, but then, there's an intro and an outro, so that brings it down to 13, and then most of the songs are very distinct from each other. You just gotta really listen to this album and give it a couple chances, I think. And then you'll just find yourself liking it for just the catchiness factor, just to listen to something that's not fucking brutal and in your face and just ripping your fucking balls off the whole time. Just something that's a little bit more laid back. I can tell already that this is going to be one of my most listened to the albums of the year, but it might not be one of the top albums of the year for sure, because there's nothing extremely new here at all. It's a good album to listen to, I think. It's just good listens.
Good feels, good listens.
Yeah. What's the fucking word?
What's the fucking word? Well, I guess we're doing, ratings. I'll give this album, and I'll give it an 8 out of 10. It's a good album. I like it. I like it lots.
I'll give this an 8.25 out of 10.
Oh.
Yeah, it's monkey.
Oh.
One up.
Oh.
My score is always correct.
I don't
You
think
should
so.
always know
Okay,
that.
Okay, I'll put it 8.5.
You don't get the job. Get out.
8.3.
Yeah. Thanks for the corrections. Those that commented. And I hope that this is much better. Watch our fucking videos.
Do it. Or you're a faggot.
That's not nice.
I'm sorry, Blazing.